episode of this thing. Yeah, it was already off to a great start.
Yeah, you want to take that again?
Yeah, here we go again.
We just spend the next hour just re-recording. Jeff goes, wait.
It's gotta be perfect.
I got it this time.
It's just gonna fuck around. All right.
Hi, Jeff.
Really dig in for me this time.
All right, yeah. Welcome to the first episode of this podcast and this play session of Stars Without Number. I am Jeff, your GM, your DM, your whatever. I'm here for you. All right.
Appreciate you, Jeff.
Let's go around the table real quick and just put some names to the voices and also the character that you're going to be playing.
All right. I am, my name's Philip. I'm going to be playing the character of Micah in this game. And I don't know exactly how we're setting the stage to start, so I don't know how much to include about my character right now.
We'll get into it. Just say the name.
Okay.
The two names that are important.
That's
your
fair.
real name and then your character name.
Hi, I'm Kirsten, and I'm going to be playing the character of Nona.
I'm David. I'm going to be playing Alexander and deciding on a voice in a little bit. We'll see how that goes.
Voices are going to happen at some point, and we'll see. Does Alexander normally go by Alex?
Yes.
All right, awesome.
Alex.
Alexander.
So we're going to be using the Stars Without Number system. We're going to go through the rules as they come up specifically, but to give you guys,
please.
to give you guys a little bit of background to this particular setting, I have a thing that I can pull up to jog your memories. So long ago, but in the future from where we are now, in 2108, it says specifically here.
All right, that's not very far away. Oh my God, we're gonna have to get on that.
All right. So there are these things called spike drives, which allow you to basically enter metadimensional space and basically do that Tesseract thing or whatever the thing from Wrinkled Time is.
Yeah.
To like wrinkle space and time to go from one place to another. But you go through this sort of interdimensional place, which is called the metadimensional space. This was discovered. We started using it. There was a first wave as you moved farther and farther out. There was a sort of a system around the about a year or so out by traveling spike drives that was called the Terran Mandate, which is just sort of an attempt at this sort of very universal like law system and governing system. Couple centuries or so after that, people started experiencing what was later discovered to be metadimensional extroversion syndrome, MES for short, or basically psychics. They were able to link into this metadimensional energy for some reason or somehow and direct it to do specific psychic-like things. And we have a couple psychics here that will learn about what types of things can do. But, normal psychic stuff. They can see the future. They can move things with their mind. They can heal things by touching them and all of the things in between. So there's these discovery of these psychics, and these psychics then were put to work specifically to make more advanced technology because they could more align atoms and stuff like that. So there was even a higher level of advancement in that technology once we were able to sort of direct the psychics to do very specific things. And also a note about psychics is you don't get these you get these powers sort of innately, but if you don't learn how to use them, you'll oftentimes go insane. So every psychic who knows how to use these abilities in one way or another are either completely and utterly insane and like live in a cave off somewhere, or they were taught either by some academy or some group of psychics. These psychics were then able to make what were called side jump gates, which were basically spike drives on steroids, and allowed you to fling yourself absolutely across the universe. And this caused a second wave of colonization, and spike drives became lesser and lesser known because they're much slower than these gates.
So we're at like 2020 now?
Yeah. We're around 2023. So we're getting getting there.
We got a little bit of time.
We
I
got
look
some time.
forward to the future again.
So after the second wave has gone out, there was just general prosperity, and you know how prosperity in sci-fi generally goes. It doesn't last very long. So there's this prosperity. There's advanced, extremely advanced science, and then an event happened, and this event is known as the Scream.
Like the painting.
Art.
This Scream, no one knows exactly where it came from. There have been a lot of theories surrounding exactly what happened, but the biggest theory surrounding it is it came from that metadimensional space that was used so much for travel. And when the Scream happened, every single psychic or meta energy sensitive person went either completely and utterly insane or died outright. And because the society relied so heavily on the psychics, society as a whole collapsed. There was no talking between different planets or different sectors. And the time that happened afterwards for about like several hundred years is called the Silence.
I'm just imagining that thing where somebody in a crowded room just yells really loudly. And then the time after that is the part where everybody's just kind of looking at them like, dude, what the fuck?
That's basically what happened.
The awkward silence.
That awkward silence. And because spike drive technology was sort of forgotten to an extent and had to be rediscovered. So these hundreds of years were sort of rediscovering all of that. And what takes place now, where we currently are in the setting of, is a couple hundred years when we've started past post-silence and post-Scream to start talking to different worlds and traveling between different sectors. But so there's probably a lot of humans just sort of scattered around that are never going to meet each other. Mm-hmm. And you're only ever going to be able to see things in your like immediate universal neighborhood where you can travel sector by sector, because those huge jump gates don't work anymore. They had to be maintained by those psychics, and that art has been lost.
Got it. So we're at like post-silence, the icebreaker, the casual conversation, but we're not like really making friends with anybody. We're just kind of like the people we know.
That weird guy in the corner screamed a little bit. Everyone looked at him and sort of moved away from him. And then people are starting, like there's that mumble that's starting to get back into the groove. But it hasn't completely gotten up to it yet. How about that
weather?
Yeah, the DJ's trying really hard. Got it. Perfect setting.
Yes. And the collection of sectors that you guys currently live in is called a Mailmore. I think that. Did I just completely fuck up my own name? No, it's probably. A Mailmore.
A Mailmore.
A Mailmore. Let me actually pick up the actual name.
A Mailmore?
Just one more guy.
Yes. Because they don't have enough of those.
One additional mail, if that's all right with everybody.
IMEALL. Emil Moore.
Oh, I knew that guy.
Yeah.
I've hung out with him. I was going to say I play basketball, but that's not true.
Moore is MOR. There's no E.
Moore.
You dropped that E.
Can you spell that one more time for me?
IMEALL. Emil Moore. M-O-R.
Emil Moore.
But it is pronounced a Mailmore or
a Mailmore.
A Mailmore. Okay.
A Mailmore.
A Mailmore.
Got it.
One Mailmore.
One Mailmore to represent.
So, to discuss the history of this particular sector, this group of sectors, whatever. The place that you guys are starting out in is called the Tigerhead Cluster, which is a cluster of sectors. That's kind of like the Wild West. They don't have a regional hegemon, is in that like there's no planet that really puts out their influence a lot right now. There's a couple that are trying, specifically the planet of Cass, which you guys are going to be starting on. But it's a little bit like the Wild West out there. There's no really established
Form of government
or authority. Interplanetary. I mean, obviously on specific planets, they have forms of governments, but between planets as a collective, there isn't really. So if you jump from one planet to another, really the only thing that's going to follow you is rumors and your own notoriety rather than the actual crimes that you commit. If you guys commit crimes, we'll see. If is good. Where was I going with this? Oh, specifically, this sector is inhabited by 3 types of races. Yes, we have aliens in a sci-fi setting. That's so crazy.
Wow.
Obviously, there's the humans. There is a secondary race by the name of the Ursin. These creatures are a little bit bigger than the average human and are ursine in nature, as in they have bear heads. They're bear people.
Do they have people bodies?
They do have people bodies.
Ooh.
So the best way I've been able to picture them is think of like Zangief from Street Fighter and then put like a bear head on him. And there you go.
Okay.
That's basically what an Ursin looks like.
Do they wear more clothing, or are they just running around in a wrestler outfit?
So the fur that they have goes down to their torso and starts to, as it gets to their extremities, starts to fade off. So like their hands, they're not covered in fur, but they are they have a thick hide still, so they're not as soft and squishy as humans.
We talking like short sleeve, 3/4 sleeve, long sleeve shirt. Where is this hair about on the arm? Paint me a word picture.
It starts to fade off, so it's not like I'm rolling up my sleeves and there's hair on one. I roll up my hair sleeve.
Bear man about to get to bear work.
I regret the question.
It starts to really taper off probably around midway down the upper arm, and then is basically just like human hair after the elbow. So think of like those really hairy arms that you see on like some men. Like,
Hey, Jeff.
Yeah.
Would you say they have a right to bear
No,
arms?
no,
That
you
was
wouldn't.
terrible.
I don't think
They
I
do have bare arms. They have claws and they have teeth. So that's enough a little bit about the Ursin.
Normal human hands with like bear claws on them.
Oh yeah, they're terrifying, dude.
Oh, that sounds.
They're retractable, so yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, dude.
Can I change my character?
No, it's too late. We can't change just yet.
Hello, yes, I'm David. I will be playing Bear.
Sir Barrington.
Sir Barrington. And the second alien race, they are They are known as the Torque.
Excuse me?
Torq. Torques.
Oh, that's not where I thought that was going.
Yeah.
I was expecting a K at that end.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh man, you really threw a curve on that one, my dude.
You gotta throw in those cues every once in a while.
Otherwise, it's not futuristic space times.
I was thinking about adding an apostrophe after the T, so that Torque.
Oh.
That sounds like it would be an orc, though.
Yeah, I didn't want to be Torque. I wanted to be Torque. So what these Torque are is the best way I can describe them is they are crystal goblins.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So they are half the stature of humans, probably around 3 feet that on average. So like hobbit sized, if we're going by fantasy terms. They are extremely slender individuals, but they are humanoid in nature again. So like 2 legs, 2 arms. But they're extremely like lanky for their size. The only sort of bulk that they actually get is from these crystals that grow on them. So sort of like in stalks on their shoulders and all over their body. Otherwise, their skin is a very dark color with different hues associated with like green or red or blue or black. And sort of like speckled. So they're like these speckled crystal goblins. And generally, the older that they are, the more crystals that they have on them because the crystals are constantly growing on them. They're sort of like phoenixes in that way.
With the crystals.
The crystals overtake them eventually, and they are reborn from the crystals.
Weird.
Yeah. They're interesting.
Does it get really awkward, like when you're like really old and you're about 95% crystal? You're just kind of there like...
One additional thing about the Torque is that they have a compulsion to augment themselves. And when I say augment themselves, I mean like add cybernetics in some way or form. So oftentimes you will not see a older Torque without some form of prosthetic or cybernetic implant or something, because they have this compulsion to change themselves and give themselves cool sci-fi stuff.
What happens with the technology and stuff when they regen?
It's gone. So they become as a completely like new young Torque with no crystals or
Damn,
technology.
my laser eye.
Yeah,
really worked for that.
they also all of their thoughts and experiences are lost, so they're effectively a new being.
Oh, funky.
All right, so that's some information about, and these races were not they didn't come from this specific group of sectors. They came along with the humans. They oftentimes have like a symbiotic relationship. The Torque, because they oftentimes like this very cybernetic stuff, they are used as scientists or engineers of some kind, and the Ursum are oftentimes the muscle. So it was beneficial mostly around, but you'll more often run into humans than Ursums and Torques. Any questions about any of that?
No.
Nope.
We can get started with the actual adventure rather than all of this exposition shit.
But Jeff, learning is its own adventure.
Let me start up some music.
Oh, shit.
Oh, yeah.
Soft mouth
Here we
noise.
go.
Give me some of that non-copyrighted good music, Jeff.
That tabletop audio music isn't even going. Oh, there it goes. So, the three of you find yourselves in an office building owned by a company known as the Beholder Collective.
Hell yeah.
Is
All right.
not
That's
an
not
evil
evil
name.
sounding at
It's
all.
not an evil sounding name
This
at
is
all.
fine.
They also have an insignia that is literally just a beholder. So like that big eye thing with all of the tentacles with the other eyes.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're neat.
I see
I
a
like
lot of
them.
beauty in that.
Yeah.
I'm excited for them to turn out to be the good guys and the bad guys be like the cuddly teddy bear nation.
Hello, yes, we are the Unicorn Syndicate.
So you guys are in this building on the planet of Cass, in the city of Cass City.
Oh my god.
It's they aren't very imaginative with their capital city names. You're in the capital city,
At
Cass
least
City.
it's not called Capital City.
Capital City, Cass Capital City. It is.
Welcome to Capital City. It is good.
So you find yourselves in Cass City in one of the satellite offices of the Beholder Collective. It's not very well kept. This is obviously one of their satellite offices. Not a lot of people work here. This is probably where they do a lot of information transfer, where they want to be away from people, so they don't have a ton of people sort of around. So the office that you're in is kind of decrepit, not like completely in disrepair, but you can see dust on things and mothballs everywhere, and it's kind of like stuffy office. There is a man stood before you. He goes by the name of Aaron Vershin. He is your employer. So you guys were all out looking for some form of freelance work because you need money for one reason or another. We all need money. Sometimes you need food or a house over your head or all of that. Well, you generally don't want a house over your head. You generally just want the roof. But anyway.
Don't tell me how to live my life. Don't tell me how to spend my money.
So anyway, the three of you are sitting in this fairly decrepit office building with this man who is fairly well built for a white collar worker. He's quite large. He's fills out the suit that he's in very well, and you can actually see a little bit of a burn scar reaching up the left side of his neck. And he says to you guys, well, let's not waste any time. 2 days ago, the Beholder Collective was robbed. That is my employer, my manager, Oriko Watanabe, was robbed. She would like this matter dealt with without the public embarrassment that would occur if this incident were leaked to the press. He looks around at you guys. There was an old free trader of hers that named the Blue Robin that has sentimental value to her, was taken by a group of thieves. We don't know where it went, but we are tasking you people with finding it and returning it to us. At the completion of the job, you'll each get 500 credits richer. He looks around at all of you and he says, we selected each one of you for a specific role within this job. Alex, he looks at you. Alex, can you quickly describe what everyone sees?
Sure. Alex is a dude somewhere in maybe early 30s, late 20s, well tanned. He wears kind of definitely well-used clothing, all dressed very warmly, maybe a bit dirtier, a little bit more ripped than you'd expect. Kind of longer hair, brown, a little oily. And he kind of looks up as Mr. Virchin comes to talk to him.
Alex, we selected you for your ways of reaching certain people. We know you can have some connections that we can rely upon. We know you're good at finding people and working your way through different types of bureaucracies. Nona, he looks over at you, Nona. Can you describe everyone what they see in front of you?
Yes, sure. I am a 5'8" human woman. Brown hair, green eyes. Hair goes down to slightly over shoulder length, I would say. Really, really plain clothing. Like bought out of the bargain bin style, if they have those in Space Future. Yeah.
No, you are known for both your discretion as well as your piloting skills. You'll be given the launch protocol, and he hands you sort of this data slab that is used to launch different space starships. And you'll be using these to activate the launch codes and bring the Blue Robin back to us. And then he looks over at Micah. And Micah, can you describe what other people see?
Yeah. So Micah is 5'5", sort of androgynous looking woman with light brown skin, short black hair. And I'm wearing some black pants and a red vest.
We've heard about some of your work in the psychic civil war, and you will be the muscle as this group. We hope that if you run into any issues, you can take care of it. So,
yeah, works for me.
Do you folks have any questions?
And these are the only three working on this mission?
Yes. Turns out having less people keeps to keep things on the down low. More people, more voices, more reasons for things to get out. We're going to keep this a tight group. All we need to do is find the ship, take the ship back, bring the ship to us.
You know of any kind of extra risks that there might be part of this that you may not have mentioned thus far?
The ship is not particularly valuable. There's no reason for anyone to go out of their way to steal this ship. I can't think of anything off the top of my head that would bring people to want to take the ship other than a quick cash. So it didn't fall into the hands of some local crime lord or something like that, where you'll have to bust in and find it within a stronghold. It should just be somewhere out there, go into a chop shop. Just get it back to us.
Do I believe him?
Yeah, let's do our first skill check. This is probably a charisma and probably notice. I don't think there's any like bluff check or anything like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's
roll a charisma and notice.
Is that a d20 or a...
That is 2d6.
D6.
Plus both of those things, or plus whichever one of those things is better?
Plus both of the modifiers.
Ah, got it.
Okay. So that is a 6 minus 1.
So that's a 5.
Yes.
You can't tell if he's telling the truth or lying.
So really fast, out of character here, to clarify, the thing that we are doing is we are taking one ship to go find a different other ship, or are we walking to go find the ship and driving the ship
You are
back?
trying to track down where this ship called the Blue Robin is stashed.
Got
They
it.
claim that it was stolen off of them at some point in time. It has sentimental values to one of the board of directors of the Beholder Collective.
Right.
And they want to get it back as soon as possible without any like press getting hold of the fact that this ship was taken.
Got it. Thanks.
So it's just getting that ship and bringing it back to them.
Cool.
Well, this is all very good, Mr. Virchen. Where was this ship taken from? Where do we have any leads, any place to start our investigation? We'd like to wrap this up quickly if we can.
Yeah.
It was taken from our hangar in Cass City. So we believe it's somewhere still within the city itself. We do know that there are some colorful folk that oftentimes frequent a local bar by the name of the Blast Furnace. Other than that, the places I would suggest go checking is perhaps the dark net for any rumors of starship trying to be sold. Of the frigate variety, specifically.
Very well. Well then, is there an easy way to report to you when we find something? When do we need to ask questions? Who do we speak to?
You have my compad number if you need to reach out to me. But if you are able to get a hold of the Blue Robin, I'll be able to contact you.
Good. Very good.
Any other questions?
No, I mean, sounds like an easy enough job to me.
All
We
right.
get to it, not waste any time.
All right. So he nods to you guys and sort of like gets himself all nice up and sort of brushes off the cobwebs that sort of appeared on him.
Oh, God, spider person!
And he starts to walk out the door. And if you guys don't stop him, he's gone. All right. What do you guys want to do?
I kind of look around. Well, we will be working together, it looks like, for at least the time being. My name is Alex. I don't think I caught your names, or if I did, I honestly do not remember them.
Yeah, Alex, hey. Micah, again, hi.
My God. Good, okay. And you?
My name is Nora.
Nora. Okay. Yes, I will.
Wait,
I will.
it's Nora, not Nona.
Oh, it totally is Nona. You're right.
All right.
I do not know my own name.
Keep us on our toes.
No, it's
I
Nona.
have them written
Yep.
down.
Yep, Nona.
Okay.
My bad.
Well,
And, yeah, where are you from, buddy?
oh, Ask me again next session.
Well, I'm from a place that might be pronounced Orsiam or Orsham.
All right, give me it's. I believe it's Orisiame.
Orisiame. Yeah, I'm from Orisiame. As our employer kind of lets slip for everyone, I am involved in the psychic resistance. Hope that's not a problem for anybody.
Well, we shall see.
All right, good.
I have no problems with this.
Like you already know now.
I doubt it, but I don't. No, never mind. It is all fine. What time of day is it?
It is midday.
All right. Well then, we are burning daylight. A few leads to follow the bar, which is maybe best left to the evening, unless the regulars are there. And a dark net, is that just like a website?
No, it's
We are
it's
going
just
to
like
go
literally-
to the dark net.
It's literally just like there's internet here. There's also like obviously there's more shady parts of the internet. Someone who's familiar with programming might know how to get onto the dark net. You can't. That's bad for radio, Chris. You can't just put the finger on your nose and make everyone know that it's you.
No, I meant not me.
Oh,
Nose goes.
I thought you were good at programming. Anyway,
I will be eventually. I'm good at programming. I don't know where this dark net is located, is all I will say.
I've snooped around that area a little bit. I might be able to find what we're looking for. Maybe. So we want to do that, or we want to head up this bar? I'm kind of good either way.
Show of hands. Who says bar? Okay.
Show of hands. Who says the other thing? And then we just make up whatever it was because no one can tell.
Micah and Nona raised their hands.
so what are you guys gonna do? Are you gonna wait around and wait for like the bar to open for like the normal patrons? You're gonna snoop around the dark net to maybe try and see if there's any information about someone trying to sell a starship like this?
I think we should go to the bar while it's empty and talk to the owner and the person working the bar to know who to keep an eye out for and then come back later.
That is a plan. Let's see if anybody is home.
So
And we'll go to the bar, the blast furnace.
You're going to the bar. Are you going to specifically go when it's a little bit darker out and patrons might be there?
I think we were planning to go before then.
Okay.
We're trying to specifically hit it before, like when only the sad drunks are in there and before it gets like rolling to like ask who to keep an eye out for when it does.
We'll see if anybody's there.
Yeah, that's true.
That's fair. All right. So let me pull up that information. So even though it's midday in Cass City, on the planet of Cass itself, it has a little bit of a heavier atmosphere than Earth had. So there are these giant pylons everywhere to sort of break up and cause the atmosphere to be lifted a little bit. So if you were actually outside of urban society, you would need sort of an actual breathing apparatus to breathe the air. But because of these sort of pylons with a light on the top of it, it's able to disperse this atmospheric pressure of heaviness. But due to this heaviness, it is oftentimes extremely overcast. So you can't even see the sun. And it's oftentimes raining as well, as it is today. So,
Jack, can you speak briefly about Cass City and Cass? Is it like, am I thinking cyberpunk, like Blade Runner type stuff?
Yeah, it's like
what am I
Blade Runner.
imagining?
Like it is absolutely Blade Runner. You see like a bunch of like ships overhead, like shuttles and stuff going. Most of the walking is being, most of the ground area is taken up by people like sort of pushing back each other. Very dark, a lot of neon, Sci-fi.
I'm
All right.
surprised that Coca-Cola is still around and kicking.
So you guys you're going specifically to the blast furnace.
Yeah, I think so. And while we're heading in that direction and walking, I will say, so, what is a dark net?
It's just it's a place online where you find stuff out. That's pretty much it. Yeah, we just kind of poke around. Maybe people are trying to sell a ship or like organs or, it's fine.
Organs as in the keyboard instrument? Or
Yeah, sure.
Depends on the seller.
Like the instrument. That's right, honey.
this sounds like a strange place. I would like to check it out
All
sometime.
right, maybe we will a little bit later.
So you guys are covering your eyes against the drizzle as you step onto the curb in front of your destination. A neon sign that says the B furnace flickers over top it. The last part of the blast has come out of disarray. It is no longer lit. And in fact, the A is completely and utterly missing. So obviously not the most well-kept place. A tough-looking bouncer stands in front of you, a tough-looking Ursum bouncer, a man with a bear head. He
And bare
looks,
arms.
He looks at
no hat.
with bare arms.
No.
You can hear a little bit of a music thumping within, so it seems like the place is already going. Turns out when it's always dark, you got a party.
Blast.
Yeah, you got to blast that music.
My master plan is ruined.
The bouncer, he looks at you and sort of in a gruff voice says, 10 credit cover.
Oh, I see. Very good. I start kind of patting.
Man, are you serious?
Hey,
on,
man, don't make the rules. Sort of grumbles through his, you can see like the fangs sort of within his teeth. And he's just sort of, you can tell he doesn't love working here, but like, it's a job for him.
Nona was reaching for her pocket, and then when everybody else was like, "No," she just suddenly stopped.
It's like, hey, listen, man. Who do we have to talk to? Come on, we're just going to the bar. Like, we're not here for a gig or something.
Can you roll a charisma talk skill check?
Sure.
How is your charisma?
It's 0.
How is your talk?
It's not.
It's -1.
Got a 10.
All right.
Nice.
He sort of looks you over, grumbles a little bit. Fine. I don't get paid enough for this. And he just sort of steps aside and sort of opens the door for you guys.
Hey, appreciate it, buddy. Hey, what's your name?
Bouncer.
Bouncer number
Didn't
one.
expect me to ask for the bear bouncer's name, did you?
Grarg. Grarg.
All
You want me to
right.
spell that for you?
I think I'm good. I think I got it.
All right.
So, I'm assuming it's phonetic.
It is. So you guys going into the bar?
Yeah, we're going on.
All right. So as you walk into the bar, I need to update the music.
That was very good. I was fully prepared to pay the 10 credits. I was not expecting it to be quite so easy.
Yeah, don't let these people push you around.
How did you
Stick with me,
convince
buddy.
that man to let you not pay? That seems like an extraordinarily useful skill.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say? You just got to know how to talk to people.
Apparently, all I had to be is like, no. And he was like, okay.
Yeah, you see that guy? He doesn't give a shit about this place. Just like push back a little bit. Yeah, it's fine.
It's a good skill to have.
Say no when people ask you for money, and they might give you stuff for free.
That's right. You're learning.
So as you guys walk in, you can hear the thumping of the music a little bit louder that you could hear from outside, just a thump, thump, thump. And as you walk in, you see this enormous concrete floor with a bunch of dancing bodies. It turns out, midday, it's still sort of time to be partying in Cass City. Because what else are you going to do? There's a bunch of people sort of stumbling past you in various states of intoxication under perhaps different sort of chemicals within their bodies. You know, sci-fi chemicals, the ones that I totally have planned out right now.
Lift. Up.
Space weed.
Good. Strong.
Damn space weed.
You can see above you is this metal catwalk that the DJ is sort of hanging out on. He's wearing these dark shades and sporting this red mohawk, and he's jamming out and just hanging out up there. And you also see over to the side this sort of worn wood bar that you can go up to with little stools in front of it. You can tell that this is probably not its most packed that it's been. It seems bigger for than the number of people that are currently in it, but it's not like completely empty. Like there's a good number of people here, but there's some space between them. There's a couple of patrons at the bar along with the bartender. What do you guys what do we want to do?
So quick question. Did Virgin say how long ago it was? When the Blue Robin was stolen?
It was in the past couple of days.
Past couple of days. Okay, cool.
They need to put together a team fairly quickly, and because it turns out changing identification codes and the launch protocol for a starship is it's not hard, but it's not easy. So it's something that could probably be done within a couple days to a week. So this is something that needs to be pushed forward now.
Got it.
Gonna see what's on tap.
Sure. You go up to the bartender.
I'm going to follow.
Yeah.
Sure. Let's go as a group.
You see this this woman at the bar with sort of these dreadlocks of different colors, sort of doing the normal, bartender thing where she's like wiping out one of those, the always dirty glass and wiping down the table. She says, what can I get you folks?
Hello. I like your hair.
Oh, thank you. Not a lot of people comment on it, but thank you very much. That was very nice. What's your name?
I am Nona.
All right.
Oh, no, nah.
What do you want, Nona?
I would like information as to the location of the Blue Robin.
All right. Settle down, Nona. We'll get there. It's a little. No. Okay. She doesn't know what. We'll get there, I think.
And a beer, please.
1 beer? 2 beers?
One for me. I do not know.
Make it 3.
3 beers. All right. Going right up. She goes behind. You guys want a specific kind of beer or just any beer?
Oh,
What's on tap? What do you got?
Well, oh God, why did I do this?
you did this to yourself.
We got the Spaceman's Lager. We've got we've got Oktoberfest. It's always in season. We got the robot Sam Adams.
Depending on how close to fall it is, you could have the pumpkin head.
We've got a cyborg light.
I can see you turning a little red. So get me whatever is good, please.
Now, Robot Sam Adams, that's my drink.
I would like the least expensive beer, please.
All right, so she just goes out and gets a couple of Robot Sam Adams and puts them on the table and then says, that'll be 5 credits each.
Really, it's for each beer.
Yes.
I thought you were saying 5 for 1 and then 5 for 3, and I realized that I ordered the wrong thing. Okay, I hand over the 5 credits.
All right.
A little reluctantly, but whatever. Level 1.
You guys got credits, right? I didn't check your equipment.
Yeah, I have.
That should be like petty cash. That should be fairly cheap.
I got some money.
You got some money. Will you take this watch instead for this beer?
Please.
It seems
like a laser pistol.
Okay, anything you want, just give me the beer.
That is a question. How open? So there's different levels of armor in this universe. What are you guys all wearing? Because it turns out combat armor is oftentimes has a stigma associated with it. Because if you have a combat armor, there's no reason to wear combat armor unless you expect to get into combat. So what are you guys currently wearing? Like, is it quite obvious that you are looking for trouble or maybe looking for trouble?
I've got an armored undersuit just under my clothes.
Okay, so that wouldn't be visible.
I have secure clothing.
Also wouldn't be visible.
I too have secure clothing.
All right. So you guys are...
We're on the DL.
Yeah.
Do you guys have weapons? Are you carrying them openly? Readied? If
I have a laser pistol in my backpack. It's not ready.
Okay.
I've got a knife that's readied.
That could probably be easily hidden.
Yeah,
So
it's a monoblade knife. Yeah,
give me the beer.
It's like it's in a
Don't
little.
make me stab you.
It's a little slot in my vest.
Come on, man.
I talked to the bartender. It is a little quiet now. Just a time of day, or
Yeah, a little bit of the time of day. We'll probably have a full party going in about like a half hour or so. Yeah.
anything special coming up, or just kind of hanging around? I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make conversation. I'm looking for a new bard.
Well, we have karaoke on Fridays.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We've got trivia on Wednesdays. We have specifically Ursum trivia on Thursdays.
I'm sorry.
And wings on Tuesdays.
No, excuse me. To go back a little bit.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. What is Earth sign trivia?
It's trivia specifically that only Ursum would really know.
Oh, does Graura back... Those out front, I mean.
Are you talking about Grard?
Yes, I'm sorry. My accent is not perfectly suited to Earth sign names, but
He actually runs it.
he seems like a good guy.
Yeah, he's cool. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yes, a friend of ours actually kind of recommended this place. Though we heard that there was a little bit of trouble that, every once in a while, I park a ship, go back out, you lose it. Whether it's because you've had too many drinks or otherwise, it's a little hard to figure out, like my accent. Is it French? Is it German? I don't know.
Someone please save me from this accent.
So I can stop speaking this in.
And she sort of like looks at you and is like, yeah, it's not the best part of town. I'm going back in the gruff. Yeah, it's not the best part of town, but you roll with the punches. Someone comes in with a knife, Grarg will take care of them. Oftentimes we don't run into too many issues, but yeah, you got some shady types around here. You get that all over Cass City unless you're really up in the clouds,
Has he had to do any of that recently? He seems like a big guy. He could do a fair amount of damage. Don't want to get on the wrong side of him.
Yeah, he's thrown out a couple of patrons. He tends to throw one basically every night. The ones that get too rowdy or something like that. Oftentimes it's nothing too violent. They just get too like intoxicated on chems or something like that. And you gotta we don't condone what you're doing, and you can't do it here. So he just sort of tosses them out. He protects us and keeps us safe. So yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
He's good people. Good bear people. Good bear people.
Those are the best people. They're better than the average person. Somehow I ended up in Ireland.
Hey, boo boo.
Do you have any regular troublemakers? Just people? Wow, I am 100% Irish now. give me just a little bit. Give me a troublemaker. Do you have any there troublemakers? Do you have any usual people? Somebody to watch out for later on?
Is this? All right. I thought my computer was about to explode.
I'm looking for the person who stole the frigate.
Yeah. I understand what you're saying, David.
Just give me this.
Just give me this. Well, nothing like. There's this one guy he gets thrown out quite a bit, and he's not a bad guy. He just gets under his drink a little bit too much. He gets tossed out probably like once a week or something like that because he's had too much to drink. But yeah, he's an all right guy. He might come in a little bit later. You'll see. He's not that bad of a guy.
All right, cool. I put down 2 credits as a tip. Thank you. Oh, my credits.
What are you guys doing now? You just sort of hanging out here. You're gonna wait around for a couple more people to show up. You gonna do anything else? You could probably go on sort of a data slab or a compad and maybe look up things on the dark net. Like, what are you guys thinking right now? What's the plan of action?
I'm going to take my beer and kind of go away from the bar to just a quiet table. Whatever you two want to do. So.
Yeah, I'm already done with my beer.
All 3 of them?
I am not. Would you like mine?
Yeah, actually, I was buying that for myself. So, did you put down money for this?
Yeah, I thought I did.
Oh.
It's very unclear what number of beers were actually brought back.
All right, here. I'm gonna
There's 3. There are 3 brought back, 1 for each.
I'm gonna give Nona 5 credits. I'm not gonna steal your beer. But yeah, I'm gonna set up at a different table than where Alex is at, and
okay.
I see how it is.
Data slab it's like a phone size thing, or is it like a laptop size thing?
It's like a laptop size thing.
Okay.
If he pulls his data slab out, I'm going to go. Or if Micah pulls her data slab out, I'm going to go sit next to her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to start poking around there since things aren't really heating up in here. Doesn't seem like.
I'm going to want you to roll... you're not exactly hacking, but you're trying to search for information. So I'm going to have you roll an intelligence program check.
Okay.
I'm going to sit over your shoulder and ask obnoxious questions.
Nice. Yeah, while that's happening, I'm going to walk over to the other table that they did not sit with me. Like, guys, I thought we were working as a team, but okay, I'm going to sit down.
I got a 5.
I assumed we were splitting our resources.
So
you seem very good at
you weren't
talking
able-
to people, and I did not want to mess that up.
So as you were sort of looking through stuff, you can't get a lot of specifics, but you do see a couple of entries specific to trying to sell a hot starship.
Okay.
And most of the postings seem to be by the name GNT.
Gin and tonic.
Gin and tonic.
My one true enemy.
Vodka soda all the way for life.
Can you all roll an intelligence no for me?
Intelligence, no.
No. Oh.
Or a wisdom no. One of the two. Whichever one's better.
6.
So you add the value of both of those things?
You add
Yeah.
the modifier.
the modifiers to both of those. So that's also 6.
I got an 11 somehow.
No.
Oh, good.
You in your travels as a space trucker.
Yes.
Okay.
I am basically a space trucker.
In your travels as a space trucker, you have become familiar with a group known as the Green Nebula Trading. And the Green Nebula Trading is a front for a smuggling ring. And you can assume by the fact that they have this particular type of frigate and that they're trying to sell it, that it seems like this is the group that you are specifically looking, or the group that is specifically posting that information on the dark web.
Do I know anything about what, like, have I run into them physically before, or has it just been I've heard things about them?
You may have run into them at like one of those intergalactic truck stops.
Yes.
You've probably never been like one-on-one, like ran into them specifically, but you've probably like passed them or have like been in the same location as like one of their frigates or something like that. So you're not intimately like knowledgeable of the inner workings of what they are, but you've heard whispers specific to, yeah, they're not like the nicest group of people. They tend to run like drugs or weapons for different reasons or something like that, all in the guise of being like this legitimate trucking organization. You may have found them when you were trying to get a job at one point. Yeah.
Sure.
But you've never worked for them.
I recognize that acronym.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, it
What is
stands
it?
for the Green Nebula Trading Company. They are a group of people who say that they do trading, but in actuality, they do illegal stuff.
Oh, one of those.
All right. That sounds like that might be what we're looking for. Can I look further on the posting to find out any more details about the... Give me a second there. And I find
Stay
it,
hydrated.
Gotta stay hydrated.
of course.
Yeah.
Any more details about something to narrow down if this is our ship that we're looking for?
There's matching. So a lot of the armaments that it is posting specifically was information given to you by Mr. Vershin. So a lot of the data points do line up. You could say this is probably the same ship, but it wouldn't be. This is a fairly standard sort of loadout for certain things. So you can't be 100% sure, but like the fact that it's on the dark web and they're trying to sell it pretty quickly seems to tilt towards the fact that it is the ship that you're looking for.
And it's like a recent listing amongst the other frigates.
Yes.
Cool.
And there aren't like that many others of this that were posted in this time frame? Man, I don't know.
Yeah.
And is it blue?
It's blue.
It does not specify any of like the identification.
They did
or
that
how it
GTA
looks.
thing where they just painted it. Those bastards.
Does it have a way to contact them, the posting, or how does buying something
Yeah.
off of it work?
There is information. It seems to be like some sort of compad number that you can reach out, but you would assume that it's not necessarily traceable. It's probably some sort of like burner compad. But that's something that you can specifically reach out for.
While we're doing this digging, having watched Micah successfully get onto the dark net, I assume I can do it as well now on my data slab that I also have. I would like to attempt to, if I know any way of like location tracing or other things like that, to figure out sort of where the posting came from or where that compad number that is listed there is currently located. I don't know if they do GPS here or anything else like that, or like certain internet numbers associated with certain other things. I don't know.
Roll an int programming check for me.
Sure.
The darknet. It's that easy.
You just gotta load up. Just type in the search engine, the darknet, and please give me a spaceship.
I got
and there you go.
And
Darknet
ace.
safe.
What'd you get?
8.
You can't divine from the specific information that you were given where this posting may have came from, where the spaceship itself may have been. It seems like the phone itself is probably some sort of screening mechanism that they'll talk to a buyer, see the money first, and then actually show off the product rather than actually you get to see it right away. As you guys have been going over the dark net, typing in the dark net into your into space Google.
Darknet.
Space Google. What is the dark net?
Foolish mortals.
The place has started to get a little bit more rowdy, as what the lady said. Oh, you didn't ask her name. Thank God.
We just know that she has nice hair.
That she has that nice dreadlocked hair that the bartender spoke about. You can see people starting to file in. In fact, there's a couple new people at the bar. One started just going at the drink, and you can. It was not good radio, but like I rolled my eyes. Like this man is like he has a hole burn in his pocket with the credits that he currently has, and he needs to get rid of them and put alcohol within himself. This is like this man's one reason on earth. And can you guys all roll a wisdom notice check for me?
Certainly.
Oh, that's gonna be fun. Oh, never mind.
Oh, I'm bad at that.
You're not good at this one, are you, Nona?
11. Wait. Oh, notice. I have a thing for that.
5.
11.
Cool. Also,
Thank
just in
goodness
case
for
you guys
you.
haven't been doing it, if you're not actually trained in these skills, it actually counts as -1. We can talk about specifically like, oh, if this for this particular thing, could I maybe roll this instead? We can talk about it. So
On the page too, it's kind of got the value on it, and it's got a -1 next to anything that doesn't have at least
Awesome.
one thing there. So I've been assuming that the almighty spreadsheet
is the
knows what's
correct-
up
yes.
and has the
does,
correct
yeah.
modifiers
Yeah, so I had a -2
So-
on that.
to the dark spreadsheet.
So Alex, you look over to this guy who is deep in his drinks, and this man is covered in grease, like absolutely covered. Like you all notice this, particularly his hands. And this is something that you would assume is someone has like a mechanic or something that's worked with. And also from the description that you were given before from the bartender, this seems like it might be the same man that she was talking about who has a tendency to get a little too deep into his drinks and then get thrown out maybe once or twice a week.
Okay. Well, I believe we have found our troublemaker. And I kind of motion over to the guy over there. Lots of grease. Works as a mechanic. Pretty fair bet for now, I think.
For now, that man is absolutely filthy. Should we buy him alcohol?
I'm going to go over to him.
Oh, well,
So you walk over to this grease covered man. He sort of like looks up at you and sort of like his already drunken state, despite the fact he seems to have only gotten here about like 20 minutes ago, and just goes back to his drink.
Hey, mind if I sit here?
The free planet, isn't it? Huh? Yep.
Oh, that's up for debate, but that's not for right now. What's your name, buddy?
My name is Edgar Shoddy. Shad?
Edgar, nice name.
Yeah, it's a good name.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you seem like maybe you're into like some kind of mechanic work. You fix stuff up around here.
Oh yeah. I work on spaceships. Oh, they're
nice.
beautiful things. Like the amount of complexity that is in one of those things, I could talk about for absolute hours. Oh boy, oh geez, they're beautiful things. Yeah.
Hey, I hear you, man. No, I used to do some repair work up on some satellites up around Orsiaim.
You were up around Orsiaim. What were you doing? What were you mechanicing doing? What are you hitting with the wrench? You know,
You're really having fun with this, aren't you?
Yeah, just
Fix things.
Honestly, yeah, just kind of like maintenance crew, grunt shit. They didn't really treat me too well over there, honestly. But yeah, no, I mean, there's some really nice stuff that I got to see out there. Kind of spacer life. Know what I'm saying?
I got you.
Yeah.
And then he looks down at his kind of dirty glass that is now completely empty, and he looks up and he says, "Diana, get me another one." And Diana, the bartender, the woman with the dreadlocks, sort of looks over at you guys and says, does like one of those eye things, like, "You see what I'm talking about?" and sort of goes over to get him another robot Sam Adams.
The studio audience laughs.
Kramer comes in.
While Micah is at the bar, I just kind of want to poke my head out the door and look up and down the street, kind of see if I can spot what ship might have just pulled up that Edgar came in on.
I will say that the area around where you are right now is so densely populated, you wouldn't expect something of a spaceship, like a starship, I should say, to one that has like the capability of jumping between sectors to actually land. The area around here, the biggest thing that could probably fit is like some small shuttles that fit a couple of people, but don't have the fittings for intersector travel.
Okay.
Does space Google Maps exist?
I don't see why not.
All right. Given that this man is covered in grease and is all gross and stuff, it is reasonable to assume that he came directly from his job to here, which means it could potentially be close. I would like to be browsing buildings for potential locations of where garages could be. I would also like to postulate that I would have some familiarity being able to do that, given that I am a pilot, but that can be up to you.
Okay, I can give it to you. There is definitely transportation. That means that he wouldn't have had to have walked from his place of work. But yeah, I will allow you to roll for that. Let's see. Cool. Let's do an intelligence pilot check, because you've sort of gone off of your pilot, and I know you have piloting. And what exactly are you're looking for?
Just like any and all buildings within conceivable walking distance that seem like they could be used to hold a spacecraft. I suspect I'm going to get several false positives, but like ruling out, like, this is clearly an apartment complex. Things don't go here.
Okay, yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Cool. I got a 9.
So there are, you look at sort of space Google Maps, cast Google Maps or whatever, and you look through what is a very sprawling city. You guys are not necessarily in the innermost place of it. You're a little bit on the outer skirts of the city. And it turns out as you walk farther and farther from the city, that sort of urbanization definitely starts to go down more and more. And buildings start to be spaced out a little bit more. And these are places for like shipyards or warehouses. So you would expect that either the mechanic specifically came from the outer ring of sort of Cass City and then came in
as opposed to coming from closer into the city and moving outwards.
Yeah, and you would also be able to tell that there's not a whole lot of like big starships being able to be parked within inner city. So you would expect him to be somewhere on the outer skirts.
Does Space Google Maps have a Space Google business on top of it? Are there any places that self-identify as garages? There
aren't. Can you roll a
intelligence Google check?
Like
Fool, I am Google.
There's a connect. There's a notice.
There's connect, but that's more with people.
Probably program or no, or probably.
I want her to figure something out, so I'm going to say
exert.
Give me that program.
I'm going to say a wisdom and a program, because you're trying to connect some dots.
Okay. I did not do it. I got a 5.
No, you look at.
Actually, no, I got a 4. Yeah, 4.
You look at sort of all of these warehouses and shipyards on the outskirts, and there's nothing that you really can do to sort of pin down specifically which one he may have came from, or which one houses like a specific class of starship.
Sure.
So you just know in the vague direction of outskirts of town.
Okay. And then until Alex comes back, I'm going to go browse the dark net looking for a spaceship to buy.
You do that. They are like millions of credits.
I have 100 credits.
Oh,
I had 95 before. Now I have 100.
moving up in the world.
Looking up for old Nona.
Everything's coming up in Nona.
So I'm carrying on my conversation in the meantime with Edgar.
Yes, Edgar Shaddy.
Edgar. So yeah, man, you must see some real beauties of starships around here, huh?
Yeah, definitely. There's one that I'm working on right now. Oh, she's an absolute beaut.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she has this awesome paint job. It's like blue on the top and like this grayish white on the bottom.
Oh,
It's called some kind of bird, but it's thing of absolute beauty.
Oh man, that sounds gorgeous, man.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Hey, can I get you another beer? You look like you're running a little low.
my friend, you've made yourself a friend.
I'm gonna call out to Diana.
Diana.
Hey, let's get us another couple of beers over here. I have some credits to burn, and I'm doing that right now.
She just sort of looks at you and kind of like, all right. So it does one of those looks and brings up a couple more. Let's go. You went with a cyborg. Cyborg light. That's the one that I called it. Yeah.
No, my drink is the robot Sam Adams.
Oh, okay. All right.
What are you drinking, Ben?
Natty Light.
Oh, space natty light.
I'm gonna hold my tongue on that one and ask for it anyway, I guess.
Why?
This week's episode brought to you by Natty Light. Don't drink it.
We have
coming
sponsors.
to you from the floor of the fraternity house. So yeah, he Diana comes up with your two drinks. Your very nice robot Sam Adams, and then his dog piss space natty light. And this is going to be a joke. We're going to say it all the time, but it's going to be space and then just normal thing. But yeah, he starts going to town on that one as well.
All right. So Edgar. So I'm like pretty new to town, kind of just landed in. I'm curious to kind of see stuff around the place, get to know some people. Like you live around here? You work around here?
Both. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes to both. Yes. I work on the outskirts of town. Bit of a freelancer. Got picked up by a couple of different companies. You know, they don't need sometimes they just need someone to fix up a thing right then and there. And they don't need like go to a workshop or anything.
Yeah, I know that.
And I live like a couple blocks away, so this is the best place to go. I go work, I come here, I get drunk, I go back to home, and then repeat. And good. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, do what you got to do.
And you can tell he's with the additional alcohol that you have been giving him. He seems, while he is off very drunk, he seems to be amiable for suggestions as well as talking to him. Achievement unlocked. Get a man drunk.
Hey, man, that ship you were just mentioning, that it sounds so beautiful. You mind if I could maybe swing by, maybe take a peek, just a quick peek at it sometime? Do you think that'd be cool?
Can you roll a talk charisma check? Charisma talk check.
Charisma.
Talk charisma to me.
Okay. Whoop. Okay. That's an 8.
Oh.
I like the look of you, friend. I can't go back there right now, but I'm sure if you ask the Green Nebula traders at the front desk and ask them to see the blue ship, the blue one, just a very pretty blue one, I'm sure they'll let you in. I can point it out. You got Google Maps open.
I got space maps. Yeah.
I run over from across the room. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. That would go poorly for all involved.
I know space Google Maps. Yeah. So.
And he
Where are we looking
goes to, he points out a fairly nondescript warehouse on the outskirts of town as the one that he has gone to work specifically on this blue ship with the white underbelly that was named after a bird.
After a bird.
Connections, you know? Yeah.
It's subtle, but if you pay attention, you can see a pattern.
Hey, man, I feel like we really connected. Let me get your number.
Here's my number.
All right.
And
It's just a 7. And he's scrawled out.
Thanks, NASA.
He's definitely struggling to write it down, but he writes a legible enough compad number. And he's like, and he says, now, if you'll excuse me, I have a date with the top of this table. And then his head just goes bam down to the end of the table. And he is obviously sleeping.
All right.
And Diana is just like, now I have to deal with this shit.
Gonna muss his hair a little bit, get up and leave, go back to their table.
Did you slam his head into the bar?
He told me what we needed to know.
Okay.
So I'm gonna pull up my Google Maps. This is where we need to go. This sounds like it's probably where our ship is at.
I'm so glad we live in the future where we have such very valuable technology.
Yeah, can you believe that guy was like working on, I'm pretty sure, the ship that we're looking for. It's crazy.
What a crazy random happenstance.
Yeah.
Some jobs are easier than others.
Are
Yeah.
easier than others?
What?
Yes.
Yeah, I started in German. And I keep ending up in Ireland. So like
That's just your accent. You switch between the two.
Mm-hmm.
I've had one beer.
It's just how you get.
Okay. Well then, shall we wait? Shall we go? Do we have anything else to cover?
No, I said we go right now. I got stuff to do,
I'm
man.
okay with this.
What time is it?
Let's knock this job out.
The actual time
Yes.
in game universe time,
Future time.
not future time.
Space time.
It is getting close to dusk on this planet. That's a thing that I need to think about more.
How many suns are there? What is the phase of the moon?
There's a singular one, and let's just say it is 24 hours. Oh, what an awesome town!
What a Terran planet.
What a Terran normal ass planet that I need to figure out how to do different things for. Anyway,
This episode brought to you by Space Rolex. Space Rolex. Time is an illusion.
Okay, let's leave this bar.
so you guys leave the thumping of the bar, and you guys are heading specifically to this warehouse that Edgar had pointed out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
As we walk over. Oh, so good start. What exactly is going to be the plan? Are we busting in, getting ship, playing it by ear?
I would suggest going around the back. Sometimes people leave doors open.
Good.
Yeah, I meant to plan it by ear. See what it looks like.
See, I do not know if that normally works. But we'll find out, I suppose, if no one else has a better suggestion.
One thing I will say, despite what that man suggested, I would recommend that we not go ask the Green Nebula trading people to see the ship. I suspect, based on past experience, that would go poorly for us.
No, yes, I agree with that. But
Get behind that.
our job, according to Mr. Virgin, was to get on the ship, and from there we can contact him. Is that right?
Is that what he said?
I cannot remember.
Yes,
Jeffrey?
he specifically gave you his compad number in case you need to reach out to him. But he said as soon as you are on the ship, he will be able to contact you.
We also have the ability to drive it, as that is why I am here.
With the launch protocol.
Yes, I was given that. don't know what that is, so I'm pretending it's a piece of paper. Flapper, flapper.
For the sake of communication, shall we call him, let him know that we found the ship?
We don't need to bother him. We'll let him know when it's done. He's not going to want to hear from us.
Okay.
Nah, you worry too much. We'll be fine.
Perhaps. It is a character flaw.
How old is Alex?
Like early 30s, late 20s.
Okay.
Yeah.
He sounds a lot older.
Yeah.
He's a man beyond his years.
Yeah, he is.
All right. So the Green Nebula trading office is a low, squat structure built to maximize efficiency and minimize both expense and attention. It blends in seamlessly with dozens of other similar warehouses in the industrial area of the city. The front of the building appears to be a few small offices, while the rear is a large warehouse. The perimeter is guarded by a chain link fence. On the east side of the protrusion the offices appears to be a protrusion of a large air filtration system of some kind. The green trading logo appears on one side of the main entrance, a pair of double doors that look securely locked. Sorry, that's on the side of the building, the securely locked ones. The front doors seem opened and inhabited.
Okay.
And it's open right now?
Side door seems locked. It's like one of those like emergency exits. Don't generally walk in through this way. And then the front entrance has like lights on. So it's like we are a business. Walk into our doors and look at our business side and perhaps don't come in through the back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well,
They appear to be open.
Given that it's an emergency exit door, those usually open out, correct?
Are you going to take the hinges off of these doors like you do in every RPG ever?
You know,
I don't have to. I was just wondering.
No.
Space doors have space hinges.
Oh, that's a good call out. Maybe space doors don't have space
Also,
hinges.
it's
Maybe
just-
this is our saving grace.
Space emergency exits usually have space alarms.
Oh, no, I know. We'd have to go really fast. But
They do open outwards. You can see the hinges.
oh, baby.
You would assume
it would be a
that
bad plan.
tampering with those would set off an alarm of some kind if they were any good at security.
That sucks. I hate when people are competent.
Well, they might not be competent. You would assume, though,
We
they
could
are
always
alarmed.
just try to take the space hinges off the space doors.
The DM is saying, don't do that. Or if you'd want to do that, perhaps think it out more than, I'm just going to whack at these doors trying to take them off
I'm
the
not
hinges.
actually going to do that. I just wanted to know all of our options.
Yeah.
Paint me a word picture.
Not a word salad.
Nah, those are different things.
So what are you guys going to do? You see this building ahead of you, the one that Edgar said he worked at specifically. It has Green Nebula Trading on it right there and then. It seems to be the place. What do you guys want to do?
So could you remind me what the situation is on the back door, kind of like into the warehouse? You said it was all surrounded by a chain link fence?
Yeah, you can't see a doorway into the warehouse. You would assume there's one on the opposite side within the chain link fence itself. It seems to be a scrapyard of some kind that's within there. The doors that you see are one that are on the front of the street, sort of like the main building entrance that you would assume like there's a lobby in there or something like that. And then there's one within the chain links itself on the side of the office building that is the more secure door. And next to it is an air filtration system.
Ducks.
They're coming through the walls.
Well, so are there any lights or anything that we can see pointing above the fence? Or is it mostly just kind of like that's meant to be the main deterrent? from like going right up next to the warehouse?
There's barbed like that. It's the type of fence that like they're saying really don't come in here. Like we know you can come in here if you really want to, but it's gonna be annoying. So it's got like the barbs kind of thing on top because it knows that while it's not the scrap itself is not hugely like very like it's not like a grav tank or something like that someone will come in and try and steal. But it's people can use scrap for a lot of different things and to pretty up a lot of like falling apart technology. So it's a junkyard, but it's got like some nice stuff in it. So they don't want people easily getting in and out.
I'm assuming there's a garage door somewhere or somewhere for ships to go in that are not human sized.
You would assume so, but you can't see
it?
any at the moment.
Okay. Cool.
I have something of a plan. Edgar said that we can go and look at the ship. We have his permission. And I'm just spitballing here, but I feel as though the best way to get an emergency door open is to cause an emergency.
Those crazy eyes.
You have I like your thinking. Do you have anything in mind?
Fire usually works.
And oil is very flammable.
We should make sure to not set the ship on fire. I do not think that would go over well with our employers.
Is there a like crash door through the warehouse? Not like a door you crash through, but a big ship-sized door. I'm imagining.
Like in the top.
Or is it at the top? Or where is it? Because
see
it's presumably down. And I need you to follow me on this one. They need a way to get the ship inside.
Did I not
You
just
see they put it in a
ask
bag of
this?
holding,
I
you
did not
see?
pay attention.
Okay, yes, I asked if there was a garage door or something like that. And you said no, like not.
You
that
would
can see.
assume that if this is the location of the Blue Robin, they would need a way for it to get into the warehouse. You can't currently see on top of the roof or behind the warehouse, but you would assume that if this is a place where spaceships can go in and out of, there is a place for a spaceship to go in and out of, rather than just it squeezing down to a human-sized cube and slipping through the door.
That would be so cool.
That
though.
is- I've heard they're working on that tech on I don't know the names of the other plants in the system. God damn it. Anyway,
They're looking at it at Space Tesla.
so I can get us up on that roof. That could be a starting point.
How?
Oh, I'm a psychic man.
You are a psychic man.
I'm a woman, actually. I got that a lot.
That is why I asked. It was very confused.
Yeah, I'm a telekinetic. So I don't know the conversion rate between pounds and kilograms because I live in the United States. But how much does a
America.
person weigh? Hold on, I can figure this out myself. You don't have to do this.
Because, Nona, you will be piloting. Yes. So we have two objectives. To find a way to get Nona into the ship. Find a way to get the ship out of the garage.
Okay, so like an average person weighs like 70, 75 kilograms. Okay.
This knowledge brought to you by this podcast.
That we definitely have a name for.
Yeah, we have a name.
So we totally have a name. What's her name again?
Are there any kind of sturdy looking pieces of metal or anything to that effect, like a plate or
Within the scrap yard, yes. Not just lying on the street.
Not like
no.
on the street or
No.
anything nearby there. Anything smaller than that?
On the street?
Could you not just steal some scrap metal, just kind of like levitate it over?
I
the
mean,
fence?
if it's in clear view.
It is in clear view,
It
yes.
is in clear view? Oh, okay. Then yeah, can grab that.
First,
So-
before she does that, can we look for cameras?
Can you guys give me a wisdom notice check?
Oh God.
I suppose.
Believe in me. Oh,
4.
5.
11.
Yes.
I'm good at noticing things.
Alex sees some security cameras, but they're only pointing to within the scrapyard itself. They're not pointing towards the street, or they're pointing at. There's one that you can see pointing specifically at the security door. There's another one that seems to be pointing out towards the scrapyard itself. And those are the two big ones. You would assume that, like, you can't see the entire scrapyard, but you would assume they have this part covered. They would probably have other parts covered as well.
Okay, so if I were going to lift something out of there, they would probably see that happening.
Probably, yes.
Is there thin enough scrap, like a pole or anything that I can see that could slip through the fence, or is it not a chain link fence?
It is a chain link
It
fence.
is. Okay.
Yeah. I can say that. Remind me of your skill again.
So,
you might need to look it up.
Yeah, so
How quietly can you move a piece of metal outside another piece of metal?
what do you mean outside another piece of metal?
Well, I mean, like, by, I guess.
Okay,
'Cause
so I'm able to manipulate it as if with 2 hands and lift up to 200 kilograms.
Okay, so that sounds like I'm going to need you to make some sort of sneak check then to do this quietly.
Okay.
Because metal scraping against metal is oftentimes one of the worst noises ever, and also quite loud.
That's true.
I'm gonna say when you make checks with telekinesis, what attribute do you use? So like intelligence.
It's
Or constitution. It's wisdom or constitution.
It's wisdom
right?
or constitution. I use constitution.
Okay. I'm going to say use, this is going to be a little weird, but constitution sneak. Because you're using your psychic abilities and you're not using your strength. You're not using dexterity.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
You're using your telekinetic bit, but you are trying to interact with it in such a way that you need to be quiet about it.
Yeah. So it's not specifically like the telekinetic control, I guess. It's the sneaky.
Yes.
Ness. Okay.
How good are you about not scraping metal against metal?
Ooh, well,
That's
there's your answer.
Oh, come on. I just got a critical fail. Great.
All right. So you were able to get the pull, but as you're doing it the entire time, there's this, and you try and do it like quietly, but it's still there. You don't immediately see anything sort of happen within the yard itself, but everyone, at least all 3 of you, heard it very clearly that you had taken something.
Oh no. Is the scrapyard in the back of the, like, is it,
Yeah.
is that emergency exit we were talking about? Does that open up to the scrapyard?
Yeah. So basically think we've got a small building in front, which is probably the offices in front of a larger warehouse, and the fence sort of goes up to the side of the office building and runs around the entire back end of the warehouse and also extends back a little bit. And that part is the scrapyard itself.
Okay.
Okay. So that could have gone better, but I think we need to roll with it.
They will be leaving the warehouse. I say we go into the front now while they are.
What does this pole look like that you specifically got out? And
I was
what are
looking
you trying to do?
I was looking for one that, so that it's able to slide through the fence. It's like relatively thin, but looks like sturdy enough to carry a bit of weight. And like a meter or 2 long. Like,
okay.
Yeah, like a bit of length to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, you got that.
Going to pole vault the fence.
No, so all right, you know what? We're doing this. Everybody grab on.
Oh dear. Okay.
Are you going to do it twice more because there's a fence in between?
No, that's it. We're all holding on to one pole. Everyone hold on to this pole. And I'm going to move the pole, which is able to carry up to 200 kilograms. It's legal.
I see. You are lifting, you are all holding onto a pole up above the fence.
I think onto the roof is the goal.
Onto the roof.
That's what he was saying he was originally trying to do.
That's the plan.
Telekinetics are so... All right.
Power levels of bullshit.
Okay.
I can make our whole party fly at level 1.
I might need to have a quick break real quick while I check some rules.
Okay.
There has been a decision made. We're going to allow this.
Oh, all right.
The rules that I was looking at specifically seem to say that like unwilling participants can't have like things on their body or hands like removed. So you can't just literally go up to a guy and say, "Hey, I want your gun." He's like, "No," and then you just take it.
Yeah, for sure.
But in this case, because everyone's willing, I'm going to allow it. Did you math it out and say like 3 people and like a pole of this length is probably less than 200 kilograms?
Yeah, we'll be like...
Yeah. I mean, well, is anyone hiding some extra weight and then they want to share with the class?
No.
Kirsten?
I'm not actually sure. I think this is going to be an up to you kind of thing, but again,
we'll be right back.
Jack.
Well, I don't know. So yeah, so
Stealth.
for 3 of us, I'm like a pretty light person. I'm like 115 pounds or something.
We might have to retcon this later, but I think I'm gonna allow it.
Okay.
But I think I'm gonna check later.
Sure,
But you
that's
might
fair.
be heavier than what you appear to be.
How much heavier is the question?
I don't know. I don't want to
Please.
say. I don't want to say more than what I've already said.
Might just cut this section out anyway.
No, I like it. It has a distinction. So I'm going to allow this, but you are going to definitely need to roll a skill. All of you.
Oh.
Sure. What's the
Roll
skill? What is
holding.
the skill,
I
Jeff?
mean, you are literally going to be exerting. So all of you are going to need to roll a strength exert check.
Oh, no.
To hold on.
To hold on.
Okay.
That should be easy. You are also going to, I think, you don't need to roll a check to do this like telekinetically, right?
No. So I commit for this thing. I commit my effort for the scene, and I can use subsequent actions to keep control over the same object.
Okay. So all of you are going to need to roll to hang on.
Oh, baby. That's a 3 for me, dog.
Oh,
so
jeez.
first for the
I got
It's
a.
okay.
exertion.
You okay?
Yeah, I have a plan.
I got a 9.
Okay.
I have a plan, John.
I got
have a
a
plan.
7.
Okay.
I'm
For the
best at
for the
hanging
exert.
onto poles.
Do I need to roll something to
No.
hold the thing? No.
I'm
Okay.
Yeah, you have that ability. You can do it.
Okay.
best at hanging onto
so-
poles.
You guys out of view of any of the security cameras, Micah takes this long pole that seems to be sturdy enough to hold a couple of people and sort of hold it up above herself, and you all sort of grab on either side of it, and
Alex goes, nope.
it starts to lift off the ground. And where exactly are you taking, Micah? Micah, where do you want to go
I'm
with
doing
this?
math because actually I might have just lied brazenly to everybody.
You can't lift this many people.
I mean, Alex did fall off.
Yeah,
so-
I fell down, which probably
I-
brings us to like 160 kilograms.
I have a thing for that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's
no,
specifically going to happen.
my math sucks.
Oh, okay. So we
This can't
fly.
happen.
No, because I can hold 200 kilograms, and I said, like, yeah, an average person weighs around 70 kilograms. That's not 3 people in a pole.
That's true.
That is less than 3 people in a pole.
It's true.
That's like 2 people in a pole.
That's like 2 people in a pole, yeah.
This week's episode brought to you by 3 people and a pole.
So anyway,
The metric system.
I try to lift us. Alex falls off immediately. Then they're like, I don't know.
Yeah, but
I think I'm just going to hold this pole.
Here we go. And nothing happened.
All right, we're going to retcon everything that just
Or
happened.
Alex, you want to stay here? Like, I think we're hovering like 2 feet off the ground. Like, Alex, too much? Like,
I don't know if you
So
did it
here's
up.
here's what we're going to say.
it doesn't seem like a good idea.
You guys start to try and do this, and you realize that your telekinetic abilities are not as strong as you thought they may be.
Curse you, metric system!
They've been a little cocky. Also, metric
And
system.
you start to lift off the ground, but it doesn't really get anywhere. And Alex also just immediately sort of falls off.
I am very bad at pull-ups.
And he also
Arms.
he twists his ankle.
Aw.
Oh no.
It's not going to show any damage, but like
I fell perhaps 6 inches.
that old war wound twisted ankle shows up
It
again.
is very bad for me.
You get the shingles or whatever. And you realize this probably isn't going to work with the amount of people that you currently have.
All right. New plan. Old plan. Maybe we don't try to fly.
Okay. In that case, I'm just gonna quickly look up something.
I held
I've never
on for
seen this
nothing.
Huge book.
I was
Jesus.
amazing at holding.
I added little sticky notes to
was
hopefully.
for
Do I take any damage?
No,
Okay.
I said that to be funny.
Oh, I was very serious. I was like, oh no,
I mean,
can't
it
walk.
does feel like we're going to be doing some freaking running soon. So,
Well, for now, I guess I'm keeping my hold on the
Chicken.
pole because I
Okay.
may as well.
Has there
for
been
now.
any reaction from the warehouse? Is that open yet, or did this all happen very
So
quickly?
this has all happened probably because I assume you took it and then immediately tried to do this since you know you weren't quiet about it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say this took less than probably like 30 seconds, a minute. You haven't seen anything right now, but it's a pretty big scrapyard. It could be someone's coming this way to wonder what it is.
Okay. Okay. To quickly run down. I do not know how much time we have. If we go inside and we get into the warehouse, Micah, you can maybe hit a lever, hit a button, whatever is needed to open up the roof or however we get the ship out. Nona can enter from the emergency exit or from the roof if you think that you would survive I don't know how many meter drop.
how my
I would
old
say it's
nemesis.
probably a meter's about a yard, right?
Yeah.
Ish.
And a yard is from football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, football.
So I'm going to say it's probably about 10, 15 meters off the ground, the warehouse. Maybe a little bit.
15.
that's
I'm
pretty high.
confused
10,
as to
15
how
meters.
I'm getting. Oh, am I
No.
going on the
It's
roof
probably
and
actually closer to-
jumping
it's
in
probably-
was the plan?
Probably that's the
was a
office height, right? Yeah, that's the office height. The warehouse is probably closer to like 25, 30.
I
Like
would
a
be
hangar
assuming
kind of
there
talking
would
about?
be a
It's big.
roof door. Things usually, not that I have any major experience, being on roofs when you're not supposed to, but things usually have a door to the roof for either like access to like HVAC stuff or things like that. So like going onto the roof and then dropping down through the spaceship hatch, if it even exists there and isn't just on the back of the thing, also feels like not the only option here.
Well, yeah, no, you're gonna have to tell me about your rooftop exploits sometime. That sounds like a fun time.
Oh no, that's Kirsten. Nona knows not of roofs.
Okay.
I have another idea. Let's see how it goes. It involves going in through the front door.
Okay. I was actually
takes off.
I was kind of thinking this. We can just make more noise back here and then just run through the front. And that's really fucking stupid. They're just going to stop us and it's going to be a whole thing.
Yeah, we would probably.
And like, I can do a fight. I'm fine with a fight, but like, okay.
Front door.
What? Fucking front door.
Oh, we're just knocking. They'll let us in.
guys, look at this magic floating bar we found.
I am not discounting. I'm not discounting the floating bar quite yet.
Micah puts like his hand above the pole and then below the pole, like, there's nothing there.
In a world where psychics do exist and people know
I feel
this
like these
can
people
happen.
might have seen a psychic before.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. We're
So you're going to go through the front door.
I'm gonna go through the front door, and I want them to come up behind me. Just play along. And I go in through the...
So what you go through what you see to be a lobby now, and there's that front reception desk, and there is a man there that he's very clearly security of some kind. He's got like, a patch and like a comm on his chest.
Man, a security patch.
I'm his words are hard. So yeah, he's just hanging out there at reception. And as soon as you guys walk in, he's on high alert.
I'm going to walk straight up to him if there's no other like receptionist or anything. And I go, hello, I need a ship. I spoke to somebody in the blast furnace who is going to set this up for me. I am in dire straits and my like greasy ass hair, my dirty fucking clothes, and I need to get home.
Sir, you're going to have to leave.
You're going to show me where this ship is. He said that I can buy it. I want to just get out of here and get home, sir.
All right. And
I am not from here, and I am not having a good day.
Is there anybody else in here or like
you don't see any? It's just this person right now that you immediately see. You would expect there's more than just one person standing guard of this entire facility. So you say this, you're going to need to make probably a charisma talk check.
Okay, easy.
I like the flying stick plan better.
Well, that is a 13.
Oh, damn.
No, that is a 12.
Still damn.
Still damn.
He is sort of taken aback by just this outburst. He wasn't expecting anyone to walk in, obviously. And he's just like gobsmacked. You're like,
I spoke to Edgar. I know that you have a ship that is very ready to go.
Edgar's just the mechanic. I'm sorry. We don't negotiate through our mechanics. You have to call the drop phone specifically on the listing.
Here. I am standing right in front of you.
And he's just sort of taken aback. He doesn't know exactly what to do.
Show me to your manager.
Okay. And he sort of goes to the comm that's sort of next to, what security guards have, that sort of that little walkie-talkie that's strapped to their shoulder. And he presses the button next to it and he says, Steve, we have a couple of people here who want to buy the ship. And you hear some garbled mess on the other side. And he sort of like turns away from you guys. And he's like, and you can't hear the conversation.
Is he in the warehouse? Can I go see the ship and talk to Steve?
Yeah, he'll be right out.
I would like to, if I can at all, specifically be noticing to see if I can hear what, like, he's obviously talking and trying to make us not hear him, but I would like to counter that.
All right. Can I have you all roll a wisdom notice check, specifically to try and overhear the conversation that he's specifically trying not to have you guys have?
9.
And 10. You know what I'm going to do?
2.
I'm going to roll my own dice. And this is going to be, he's going to be rolling sneak to try and throw you guys.
Sneaky.
Wow. That is one hell of a first roll. Just take a good look at that, David, right there. That's
that's a 2, Jeff. That's 2d6 you rolled on a 1 on
he rolled a 3.
Hooray! You almost beat him. You were so close.
He's so flustered by this entire thing. He's trying to be very discreet about this conversation that he's having. But he says, I don't know. These people just sort of showed up and said they want to see the ship. And then you hear Steve on the other line. Well, we don't have any like buyers lined up right now. The hell, the identification codes haven't even been wiped yet. I don't know what they're about, but I don't know what they're doing here. It's like, I don't know. They know Edgar.
Please, will somebody show me to this fucking ship?
How many doors are in here?
You see,
not counting what we came in.
Yes, let me look up.
Alex, intergalactic Karen. May I please speak to your manager?
So you see 4 doors.
Okay.
There are, so off to the left-hand side, there are a couple of doors. One that seems to be to a meeting room. That's just like that glass door, so you can see in there. Okay. Another one that has, it seems, you quick glance and looks like maybe offices. On the right-hand side, you see what might be some sort of security desk that is a little bit more like nicer. That was also attached to like the secure door that you noticed before with the air filtration system. And then behind this guard is this big double door that you would assume is to the warehouse itself.
Okay. Which way do the doors open? Just out of curiosity. This is actually
corrupting
relevant.
people,
No,
Jeffrey.
this is actually relevant. I'm not taking anything off it just right now.
But we could.
So I'm going to say you can't immediately tell because some of the
There's those
architects.
kitchen doors. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
No, because some architects they put those like pulls on it that you're just like, okay, that's a pull door, but you try and pull it and it doesn't move at all, and you're like, oh no, that's actually a push. So you think that it's a pull, but you're not actually entirely sure.
Fair enough.
Specifically to the warehouse, it appears to be sliding doors.
Ooh.
Okay. But the other doors have
Space.
kind of like the bar that you would grab and it either goes in or out.
Yes,
Okay.
you would assume open towards you.
There we go.
All right, as this guy's talking to Steve, I'm going to go, is that how you go into the warehouse? Is that where the ship is?
Sir, you can't go in
I'm
there.
going to walk past him. I'm going back for the doors.
I'm
All
going
right.
to go with and just do the
So
thing.
you push past him. This man's obviously frazzled, is not having a good day. You push past him and you get inside this warehouse. And this is a massive sort of big area, but you would expect like shelves and shelves of things maybe to be filled out if it was some sort of like shipping company, but it's completely devoid of all of that. There aren't any shelves in here. In fact, there's only one thing that you really see in here. And it is a very large frigate, very similar to the description that Edgar specifically gave to you, with that blue top, with the white underbelly, and on the side of it you can see the Blue Robin.
Okay.
As you walk in, though, you see a man up on the catwalk, who you would assume to be Steve, because he is running towards the door right now. He says, "Hold it!" And that is where we're going to end today's episode.
But we never got to meet Steve, Jeff.
Oh, you're going to meet Steve.
Ah, I'm so excited.
All right.
And that's it.
You did. You
Yeah.
did very good.
We're in. I think I still have this poll. We'll figure out what's going on.
It's a walking stick now.
I was just thinking that. Like, if you could somehow get that in just by, like, being already so fucking good.
You wouldn't deprive an old man of his walking stick,
Oh,